how important this moment is for all of us. And glad we are that you recognize the importance of the moment. You grab it with all your hands, and you want to come all out that you've done. You indicated in all aspects. You indicated in the forums. You've indicated it in your presence. This is what we want. Unionism is what is indicated here. You do not talk and sit back. You do not talk and allow others to do the work for you. You do the work for yourself. So today I will be your MC. I will be trying to manage this session. Please help me do that. I cannot do it without your help. So first on our agenda, without much ado, we have wasted enough time, is the opening remarks by the President of the University of the Gambia, Mr. Honorable John Johnson. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to serve you, and we will do nothing but to serve each and every one of you. You have given us the mandate, the trust to carry out something that is very of high importance, and we will do it to the best of your ability. Dear medical students of the University of the Gambia, today I stand in solidarity with you in your plight, not only as a student of this university or this prestigious association, but as your president. I and my executive appreciate you for coming here to this press conference to address this current issue in the medical school. For 3 good months, I and my executive have intensely engaged school authorities of our current issue, the VC, the provost, and the hospital management to solve it. For 3 months of sitting at home, which has caused a massive domino effect that has not only affected one class, but the entire medical student in the school. Today, even though with the current position we are, and positivity looming all around, we deem this press conference of high necessity to address and expose the long-standing problem that has been disturbing the medical school. This press conference is to make sure no other future occurrences, to avert any such happening again in the medical school. At the same time, to find a holistic solution to all the predicament of the medical school. Therefore, students, today I am one with you. I am one with you not only in heart and voice, but also to amplify your voices as your president, as your elected president, to make sure this problem does not happen or repeat itself again. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for trusting us, for putting your trust in your 18 executive, for putting your trust not only as individuals, but as people of dignity and honor. Therefore, to you, our future and excellent and bright doctors, I say a big thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Well consumed. Next on the itinerary is the statement, the release, and the preposition to be read by the ICM. Madam Umifal, thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So I am here to read the statement for the medical school. This statement is not a statement that was written by an individual. It was a statement that every student sitting here today agreed upon, and we are here to make the public aware of certain demands that we have. The Medical School of the Gambia, commonly known as School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, as the first established school in the University of the Gambia. It is quite disheartening that we have been existing for the past 2.5 decades and still are encountering numerous battles which seem unending. From the issue of inadequate or lack of permanent lecturers, lack of functional student portal, improper curriculum, a school bus, a dormitory, and most especially the presence of adequate learning resources. Though our primary urgency is to have our issue of lecturers permanently and holistically resolved, notwithstanding, it is noteworthy to highlight the fact that as medical students, we are determined to have our problems solved, or we go ahead with a massive protest. First and foremost, we wish to highlight the ongoing situation regarding a 3-month delay in our medical curriculum, mainly affecting the clinical students due to their posting at the surgery department. The issue has persisted without any resolution from the Vice Chancellor, the Acting Provost, and the surgery department, despite knowing about our situation. Numerous meetings and protocols were observed with the above-mentioned parties. Notwithstanding, the culprits of this crisis remain firm on their respective stance. A battle of full-time employment and fractional employment continues, as we, the students, have been made the victims of this predicament. The surgery department is unwilling to settle for anything other than a full-time appointment from the University of the Gambia, whilst the Vice Chancellor and the Acting Provost, on the other hand, remain unwilling to come to terms with their demands. An apparent conflict of interest between two elephants, the University of the Gambia and the surgery department, and the grasses, us the students, unendingly bear the unforgivable consequences of these crises. Apparently, a meeting was scheduled for yesterday by the Chief of Staff of the President's Office, copied all the authorities involved in this. UNIGAMSA was also copied. To our surprise, this was not honored. A call was received on our way to the State House informing us of a change in venue of the meeting. However, when we arrived at the stated venue, which is the school, we were initially restricted from joining the meeting, reason best known to them. Later on, they only allowed 3 members of the executive to attend this meeting, which we as an executive rejected and refused to attend the meeting. Note that the Chief of Staff was not present at this meeting. Nonetheless, we waited for an hour, but he never showed up. Subsequently, 2 of the executives were engaged on a different level by the Chief of Staff and the administration of the University of the Gambia and the Minister of Higher Education, respectively giving them feedback of the private meeting held and assuring them verbally that the matter is being solved holistically. While initially claiming their hands were tied, solution was provided swiftly after receiving our threats, which clearly indicates that these authorities solely care for their reputations and not our future. Regrettably, we refuse to accept any form of verbal agreement and have reached at a point of no return, for this issue is perennial and must be solved. The continuous delay in medical school must stop. We demand accountability and swift action to rectify this situation permanently and holistically. Our education and future careers are at stake, and we refuse to accept any further delays without a concrete plan of action. Thus, We urge the authorities involved to announce resumption of lectures by Monday, the 4th March 2024. A letter should be communicated to the Office of the Secretary of UNIGAMSA before Friday, 1st of March 2024 by 10 a.m. prompt. The content of this letter should include assurance that this shall not be tried by other departments. Please note, a protest is scheduled for the same day, which is Friday, the 1st of March 2024 by 11 a.m. To go on with the agenda, it is paramount to highlight the fact that UTG provides a functional portal which provides easy access to registration, tracing of grades, and current upgrade regarding their tuition fees payment. It is quite disheartening that we suffer the injustice of not having access to our grades from our second year all the way to our final year. Numerous excuses have been presented to us over the years, ranging from lack of expertise to upload the data, or even monetary challenges. Now, our question sums up to why are other UTG students given the privilege to having access to a functional portal, while as medical students we do not have the same? The issue of biased priorities needs to stop. We have been made to understand through the irresponsiveness of the UTG to our players that we are not a top priority for them. The injustice must come to an end. We don't want mere promises, nor are we demanding for the impossible. Rather, all we need is for our basic rights as UTG students to be respected. Our requests are straightforward. We need a functional portal. Third on this agenda, we humbly request for 2 buses to be provided to the medical school. For 2.5 decades, we are still suffering from unavailability of a bus we call our own. All other schools across UTG, except School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, have a functional bus, and it is quite disheartening that our future doctors suffer from the inconveniences of daily scarcity of public transport, which even leads to some missing lectures and others even attending lectures at a very late time. It is high time for this issue to be solved holistically. Thus, we humbly request for 2 functional buses with immediate effect. No more promises or diplomatic stalks to deviate us from our goal. Rather, we want our needs to be prioritized. An invoice or a letter written and signed by the Office of the President indicating that our school will be given 2 functional buses should be communicated to the Office of the Secretary before Friday, 1st March 2024. In addition to that, we wish to highlight the unending frustration regarding the lack of permanent dormitory for medical students. We are currently 408 students in the medical school, and more than 300 students are obliged to travel daily to the school. Permanent dormitories is currently unavailable to most medical students. Concurrently, some medical students share same space with SRN, which is the Gambia College, while others live in rented apartments by the UTG at a rental price of $5,000 annually. At executive level, we wish to acknowledge the reception of an email from UTG highlighting the need for an increment of the rent fee to $15,000 annually, which is undoubtedly unreasonable and unaffordable for medical students. Thus, we plead for the intervention of the Chancellor and other relevant stakeholders. This issue should concurrently be included in the letter addressed to the Office of the Secretary by Friday, 1st of March 2024. Thus, to emphasize and reiterate, we solemnly raise our voice and concerns over their need for a permanent dormitory. The issue of medical elective is undoubtedly an issue known to the Council. Medical students embark on their electives program after their 6 years of studies. It is rather unfortunate that we have not been receiving support from the Chancellor for the past few years, reasons of which are unknown to us. Thus, we humbly solicit help from the Chancellor in this cause. All we need is a sum of $2 million to be given as grant either by the government or the Chancellor yearly. Thus, we solicit for a memorandum of understanding to be drafted between the Chancellor and the medical students. We also solicit for the draft to be attached to the correspondence sent to the Office of the Secretary on Friday. The last point, the issue of insufficient classes and furnitures or resources in medical school. The fact that we have continued to manage the very limited resources available does not in any form mean that we are comfortable. The very few classes within the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences are being utilized by the nursing students, the medical students, the public health students, and even the pharmacy students. The medical school alone currently composed of 5 cohorts, which you would call classes, currently in Banjul. Thus, the presence of other schools on the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences breeds an obvious daily struggle for space. To give context to this point, the exam of the most senior class in medical school, which was held Friday, 23rd February 2024, it was supposed to be held at 10 a.m. in the morning. However, it has to be rescheduled to 11:30 due to the insufficient supply of furniture and lack of a class. We cannot continue to nod our heads to the existence of these problems. We are in sincere need of learning materials such as projectors, smart boards, etc. Because as we speak, there is scarcity of projectors in our school. As an institution, we only have 3 functional projectors for the whole school. In a nutshell, we cannot learn without adequate learning resources. As much as the issue of lecturers need to be sorted as per the deadline, these issues need to be solved as well. We sincerely look forward to a holistic intervention of the above-mentioned issues in due time. Please note that this statement represents the voices of over 408 students, and it's been read for these 408 students on their behalf. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Madam ICM, for that marathon, but sad, indeed sad. So I wouldn't go back to that. We have reached a session where questions would be invited to the people, questions from the press, and also questions from the general student body in case they have any. But first, we would want to give the chance to the press in case they have any questions to ask in order to clarify to the masses. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Iliman. So I don't know whether they're able to hear me. I'm from Paradise TV. Well, I've heard, the recent, comments made by the speakers here. My question is, after having this press conference, are you guys going ahead with the protest as you have indicated in the letter?
Thank you very much. Provided for, or we head to the streets. It is as easy as ABCD. So if standard and clear. And let me highlight something. There is no political motivation with this. This is simple, basic rights. You go to Faraba. Faraba is standard. It's world class. We are proud. But you come to medical school. Take a look at this is the hall. This is the conference hall. Take a good look. Highlight on all the issues. Highlight on the sides. Highlight on the want to make sure we have rights. Medical school is the most prestigious school in the nation.
So, if we have any more questions from the media,
not 75%, not 80, not 90, 100% priority. So this is not, as I said again, this is not me speaking. This is the voice of over 408 students, and we as an executive.
Any more questions from the media? If we have any more questions, okay. Back to the students. If you have any more questions for the executive or comments, you want to add something to this? If there are no questions, no comments, okay, I've seen.
Of acting provost. Before that, there was another acting provost. So unimaginably, we have two acting provosts replacing each other. And as an institution that we accord importance, we don't think it is doable and it's sufficient for the school to be run by people that are in acting status. So what we need for a start is for the position of the provost to be confirmed. And that being said, it does not necessarily mean that the person in the acting provost position is doing the job correctly, because these issues that we are highlighting, from lecturer issues to the lack of furnitures to disruption of the curriculum schedule, revolves around the functions of the provost. In my opinion, it's squarely and wholeheartedly or totally the problem of the provost not acting duly as the function demands. It is important. It is important that we give the job to their friends. It is not acceptable, and we cannot continue to ignore the fact that clinicians are being used as administrators. Administrators need to be put into their place, and clinicians too need to be put into their place. Secondly, it is important to note that the reason why this delay has happened this long is because of the surgery department. So in as much as we would mention issues, we need to be direct and exact on what has caused the problem. The surgery department before now has been one of the departments that will concurrently cause problems for the students. The public needs to know this. Importantly, it's an issue of employment. So the people that are in duty, which includes the university administration, but also the provost, should act, on the demands of their duty to make sure that these lecturers or consultants within the Department of Surgery are treated equally as other consultants within other departments. The School of Medicine does not have only one department within its setting. You have other departments, but all the issues that has to do with delay or disruption of lectures have concurrently been an issue that has been spearheaded by this same department. So there needs to be serious talk and serious business for these things to be solved and be solved once and for all. Because they are setting a precedent that other departments too might follow. And we do not want a recurrence of this. It is not in our interest for us to be gathered here to lament on our issues. All we want to do is to study as students and graduate, be doctors to serve our beloved nation. That is all that we demand. At this juncture, I would want to allow my colleagues to also highlight other issues that this school has been faced with, because I believe this is the opportunity for us to speak our mind, and the time has come, so we are going to embrace it. Thank you.
Which is fundamental to our problems, which is our curriculum. So the curriculum is very important as it highlights the order in which our courses would be done and the manner in which it will be done. He had mentioned administrative lapses. As we speak, before our acting provost was in office, there were systems in office. There were systems in which after a particular course, you have to do the other course. But now it has been, our courses are done in random. For example, we have laboratory medicine, of which after doing it, you will do clinical sciences. Now there is a new curriculum. And in that, you will have to do part of the lab medicine, go back to clinicals, come back again. We think this is chaotic. I think the fundamental statement that I want to say is that our school is being run in trial and error basis. And I think this needs to stop. There is supposed to be a document that we call a proper functioning document. All of the department heads should sit down and devise a means of, way in which our curriculum should go, or our program should go. Not for the acting provost to sit and say, you are going to dispose in fact, now you are going to change and do this and do that. There is supposed to be a system in place. The most important thing now is the surgery department's problem, which is the salary issue. The executives have talked about that, and then the administrative issue have been also highlighted. But I think another important issue is the curriculum. We need to have a proper functioning document that we call a curriculum that is up to standard, and we make sure we abide by it to the latter, not the acting provost deciding what will happen next. Thank you very much.
Any more comments? Okay, so at this juncture then, you have a question, of course.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, my question is with regards to the curriculum. We all know that our class, we have been sent a document that has stated from pre-med up to the last clinical class, at 600 level. So my question is, why is it that, meaning we should spend 6 years in medical school, and that is the curriculum, and everything is highlighted there with the weeks and everything, dates and all that. So my question is, why is it that we have to spend, in fact, more than 7 years, up to 8 years in a medical school, when we have a curriculum that has designated that we should spend 6 years? So why is that?
Any more comments? Okay, so at this juncture then, you have a question, of course.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, my question is with regards to the curriculum. We all know that our class, we have been sent a document that has stated from pre-med up to the last clinical class, at 600 level. So my question is, why is it that, meaning we should spend 6 years in medical school, and that is the curriculum, and everything is highlighted there with the weeks and everything, dates and all that. So my question is, why is it that we have to spend, in fact, more than 7 years, up to 8 years in a medical school, when we have a curriculum that has designated that we should spend 6 years? So why is that?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the executive and the media houses present here. So just to add to what Kali has said, so we have been also aware that recently students who have graduated from the school are asked to pay for their induction, which a fee is attached and is a large sum of money. And this is unacceptable, and we will not allow it as students.
Okay. Thank you very much. On behalf of the executive of Unigamsa, we would like to say thank you very much for honoring this call. To the media, amazing work. Amazing work to the students. We cannot say how proud we are. We cannot say how cooperative you've been. We couldn't have done this without you. If you would only leave us to ourselves, we would run into a lot of troubles. But you've come with us, you've said, we are not leaving you alone. We are going to go with you, no matter how long, no matter how far, no matter how tight, no matter how tough. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am now going to wrap up the conference. I am going to give back the mic to the Honorable Vice President of the University of the Gambia Medical Students Association to give the closing remarks.
Good afternoon to you all. I will start by thanking all the students. Really, we have support from you people. Without you people, this thing would not have been done, and what we plan will fail. But we can see the stand of the student, even though we have push and pull at certain point in time, but we know these students, they are really, 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 really ready for this. And then we are all ready for the change. And from today, what we had, hopefully changes is going to happen. And we are going to have positive changes. We reassure you that. Without positive changes, we will do what you still plan for us to go with. We are here to represent you. Anytime, any moment that you are ready, anything that you plan for. So for that being the case, we are really happy that this press conference has gone, and then what we highlighted, the students, I believe they are happy with that. So with that being the case, we are also really happy that it's a success from your side, and we are ready to lead, okay? For that being the case, I say thank you all for coming.
With that, we say thank you very much, Unigamsa. Thank you very much, media houses that are present, the Paradise TV, Fatu Network, and Paradise, I think. Fine TV. Thank you very much for coming. We are just about to conclude, but someone was asking. I think the person was kind of lost. Said people are talking about the provost not being around. So where is the real provost, not the acting provost? Someone was interested in the answer to that question. But without much ado, we say thank you very much. This is the end of it. We endorse you to keep doing the good thing that you've always been known for. Thank you very much.